Welcome back, folks. Today we have an eye-opening topic to discuss: the latest geopolitical developments and political global challenges. We'll be exploring 12 countries that are predicted to face collapse in coming years. We'll dive into some fascinating facts about these nations, shedding light on the factors contributing to their instability. Brace yourselves for an interactive journey filled with astonishing facts about these nations. So, without any further ado, let's dive in. Before we delve into the list, let's briefly discuss the common factors that can contribute to a country's collapse. What factors lead to country collapse? Economic instability, political unrest, social inequality, ethnic tensions, and natural disasters are some critical elements that can tip the balance and lead to country collapse. Now let's explore the countries that face these challenges head-on. The first country which is most likely to lose its balance is Venezuela. Venezuela, a nation known for its economic woes. Did you know that due to hyperinflation, their currency, the bolivar, has become virtually worthless? Venezuela has been grappling with a severe economic crisis for years, marked by hyperinflation and political instability. Despite its rich oil reserves, mismanagement and corruption have driven the country into a deep recession, resulting in shortages of food, medicine, and basic necessities. With political instability and widespread poverty, Venezuela is facing immense challenges. Before moving on further, we have an interesting question. What is the current inflation rate in Venezuela? Next country on our list is Yemen. Yemen, a nation caught in a devastating civil war. Did you know that Yemen is experiencing the world's worst humanitarian crisis due to an ongoing civil war? The conflict has led to widespread destruction, displacement, and a dire humanitarian situation with millions of people in need of immediate assistance. The war has resulted in political fragmentation, making it difficult to establish a stable government and maintain essential services. Yemen's economy has also been shattered by the conflict. Millions are suffering from famine, and access to basic necessities like clean water and healthcare is severely limited. Up next is Syria. Syria has been in the midst of a brutal civil war for over a decade. Syria has been embroiled in a multifaceted and protracted conflict, resulting in significant challenges that have led to its collapse. The involvement of regional and global powers in the Syrian conflict has intensified the complexity of the situation. The Syrian economy has suffered greatly due to the conflict. The destruction of infrastructure, disrupted trade, and loss of human capital have led to a collapse in economic activity and widespread poverty. The conflict has led to the displacement of millions of Syrians and caused significant damage to infrastructure. This war-torn nation is struggling to rebuild and stabilize. Moving on, South Sudan. South Sudan gained independence from Sudan in 2011, ending a long and brutal civil war. Despite high hopes, the new nation faced significant challenges from the beginning. The world's youngest country, South Sudan, faces several challenges. It has been plagued by ethnic conflicts, political instability, and economic struggles. Power struggles within the political elite have been a major hindrance to stability. Rivalry between President Salva Kiir and former Vice President Riek Machar sparked a violent conflict in 2013, resulting in a devastating civil war. The civil war has caused immense human suffering, including displacement and loss of life. Over 2.2 million people have been forced to flee their homes, leading to one of the world's largest refugee crises. Corruption and misappropriation of funds have also hindered development and led to widespread poverty and unemployment. Did you know that South Sudan has one of the highest rates of illiteracy globally? The next country on our list is Afghanistan. Afghanistan, a nation known for its tumultuous history, recently witnessed significant geopolitical shifts. Afghanistan has faced decades of political instability, with various factions vying for power. With the withdrawal of foreign forces, Afghanistan faces immense challenges in establishing stability and preventing the resurgence of extremist groups. The Taliban, an Islamist militant group, has regained strength and influence in certain regions of Afghanistan. Afghanistan faces significant economic challenges, with a high poverty rate and limited employment opportunities. Somalia. Somalia, a country located in the Horn of Africa, has been grappling with a complex set of problems that have led to its current state of collapse. Somalia has experienced a lack of effective central governance for decades. The absence of a stable government has resulted in power struggles, weak institutions, and a fragmented state. Al-Shabaab, an extremist group affiliated with Al-Qaeda, has been a significant destabilizing force in Somalia. Somalia has faced multiple humanitarian crises, including famine and drought. These disasters, combined with ongoing conflict, have resulted in widespread displacement and food insecurity. The absence of effective governance has fostered corruption, making it difficult to attract investment and spur economic growth as well. Democratic Republic of Congo. The Democratic Republic of Congo has faced significant challenges that have contributed to its state of instability. Despite being rich in natural resources, including minerals such as cobalt, copper, and diamonds, the DRC has struggled to benefit from its resource wealth. The DRC has experienced numerous armed conflicts, both internal and involving neighboring countries, which have contributed to the overall instability. The ongoing conflicts and displacement of populations have resulted in a severe humanitarian crisis in the DRC. Millions of people have been internally displaced or have become refugees, facing challenges such as food insecurity, lack of health care, and limited access to education. Do you know where in the world is Democratic Republic of Congo located? The Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, is located in Central Africa. Talking about Central Africa, the next nation on our list is Central African Republic. The Central African Republic has a long history of political instability, marked by frequent coups, power struggles, and weak governance. Multiple armed groups, often formed along ethnic and religious lines, have emerged, further destabilizing the country. The CAR is deeply divided along ethnic and religious lines, with clashes between various groups leading to violence and displacement. The ongoing violence has caused a severe humanitarian crisis, with more than half of the population in need of humanitarian assistance. CAR's infrastructure has suffered due to years of neglect, conflict, and limited resources. The lack of adequate roads, healthcare facilities, and educational institutions hinders the development and functioning of the country. CAR struggles with weak state institutions, including the security forces, judiciary, and public administration. This weak institutional framework makes it challenging to maintain law and order, ensure justice, and provide basic services to the population. Despite efforts by the international community to restore stability, including the presence of peacekeeping forces, the situation remains fragile. Up next is Haiti. Haiti has long struggled with economic instability, marked by high unemployment rates, poverty, and limited access to basic services. The devastating earthquake in 2010, which claimed an estimated 230,000 lives, exacerbated the country's existing challenges and hindered recovery efforts. Haiti's institutions, including its judiciary, police force, and public administration, have been plagued by inefficiency, corruption, and a lack of capacity. Weak institutions hinder effective governance and limit the country's ability to respond to crises and provide essential services to its population. The proliferation of armed groups and the lack of effective law enforcement pose serious security challenges, impacting the daily lives of Haitian citizens. Addressing these issues requires long-term sustainable solutions, including improved governance, investment in infrastructure and social services, and support for economic development. Do you know Haiti has experienced a significant brain drain, with many skilled professionals leaving the country in search of better opportunities abroad? This loss of talent has further hindered the country's development and capacity to address its challenges. Libya, our next stop. Since 2014, Libya has been embroiled in a prolonged civil war between the internationally recognized Government of National Accord, GNA, and the Libyan National Army, LNA, led by General Khalifa Haftar. The conflict has resulted in widespread violence, destruction of infrastructure, and displacement of thousands of people. Libya's economy heavily relies on oil exports, but the ongoing conflict has disrupted production and caused economic turmoil. The collapse of the state institutions and infrastructure has created a severe humanitarian crisis in Libya. Displacement, lack of basic services, and the presence of armed groups have left the population vulnerable and in need of assistance. Myanmar. Myanmar's collapse can be attributed to the military coup that took place on February 1, 2021. The military, known as the Tatmadaw, seized power and detained civilian leaders, including State Councilor Aung San Suu Kyi. The coup sparked nationwide protests demanding the restoration of democracy, which were met with violent crackdowns by the military. Since the coup, Myanmar has experienced widespread human rights abuses, including extrajudicial killings, arbitrary detentions, and forced disappearances. The United Nations and various human rights organizations have condemned these violations and called for accountability. The collapse of Myanmar is marked by deep divisions and entrenched power dynamics. Ethnic conflicts and tensions between different groups within the country have long been simmering and have been exacerbated by the coup. Achieving a sustainable resolution and restoring stability will require addressing these underlying issues. Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe's land redistribution policies, initiated in the early 2000s, aim to address historical inequalities in land ownership. Zimbabwe's collapse can be attributed in large part to economic mismanagement, including rampant inflation, currency devaluation, and fiscal irresponsibility. However, the implementation of these policies lacked transparency and often resulted in the seizure of productive farms without adequate compensation, leading to a decline in agricultural productivity and food shortages. Well, that concludes our whirlwind tour of 12 countries that could face collapse in 2023. Remember, these predictions are based on various factors and circumstances. Don't forget to tell us your thoughts on this list, and make sure to give this video a big thumbs up as well as subscribe to our YouTube channel for more informative content. Have a good day.